Y'all ain't getting nothing for free. What's up, everyone? It's your boy, The Business, coming back at you live for episode 11 of The Business. Let's be real. Tonight's special guest is a friend of mine I got to meet growing up. Good inspiration, I think, to the city of Lorain. He was, we were able to follow his career and always been proud of what he's been able to do. And now he's, back in the city and he's kind of helping make some productions happen and is super excited to do so. And it's great to see that he's brought that knowledge back to the city and what he's able to do now. And, so I'm super excited to have him on. I'm asking him a couple questions. He doesn't got too much time. He's a really busy guy. So we're going to get him in and, kind of pick his brain a little bit and kind of let you know what's going on in his life. All right. So with that being said, The Business, Let's Be Real, episode 11 begins now. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. With me tonight is Kenny Santiago Marrero. Kenny, how you doing tonight, man?
Cheers, brother. Good to see you, man. God's grace and blessings, man.
Thank you, man.
Nice to see your face, man. It's been a long time.
Great to see you, too.
You look great, man. You look great. You're in Florida, right?
Oh, yeah. Out here
we're in the Midwest. Cold.
Yeah, I'm like, it's been pretty nice here, actually. We haven't been able to complain too much. I mean, we get a little bit of rain, but that's not too bad. You guys are dealing with the cold and the snow, so Yeah,
Keely's very upset. She said if you would be around him right now, he would bite you because he is a tropical bird and he wants to be out there. But we got him locked up in here. Fireplace. We keep everybody warm in God's grace. But it's beautiful. Hey, brother Tony, I'll tell you this, man. What I love about the Midwest and what we can do here with film projects and stories is, just the way nature changes. It's amazing. Now we're in my least favorite. I'm a summer guy. I'm a July guy. God's grace. I love the summer. But the beauty that we can do here, projects like, there's a few of them that we have to do in this kind of weather. It helps to tell the story. And but I get the blessing to be a part of both worlds because I do love it where you're at and wish I could be there a little bit more. I'd rather be in a tropical place. God's got me here, Midwest. But yeah, God's grace and blessings. It's a pleasure to be here, man. And
I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you. I was going to ask you some questions because we were talking about how before the show got on, we were talking about some of your transformation from the Bronx, because I know that's where you were born, to coming to Lorain.
Parents, my mother and father met there. Actually, they got married there. My parents have been married 50 years. The first, I'd say, decade of my life was out there. It was very, but the transition from here happened through ministry. My dad was very involved with different missions group at the time. It's interesting how it fell into my life as I got older. I had to experience a little bit of the inside cage and a little bit of just seeing things, man. It's a big world out there, guys. It's a big world, and there's more than meets the eye. And I'm very. You can just say I live my life very biblical. I mean, I'm not perfect. None of us are. There's only one, the chosen son, and that's it. We're all a hot mess trying to survive, and some of us have difficult cards that are dealt to us, and some of us are just dealt aces. And those are blessings. And those that are, I call you guys to attention to righteousness and to what's happening. It's sad, but, I don't tell an artist to not be an artist because we're all artists. So if you got a story, tell the story. That's another conversation. That's where we can definitely help. And, I got to win a scholarship through my alumni now school, LC. And we were Lorain County, police, we support them. I love my Lorain guys. Oh, my bird just minimize the screen. I can't see you guys anymore. Are you still there?
Yeah, we're still there. We can see you.
Oh, okay, good. You can hear me and see me? Okay, good.
Yeah, we're good.
So yeah, man, I love to be a part of first responder stories. I got to say those are my favorites, and we have one coming here to Lorain. COVID delayed about 7 projects, guys. 7 independent, ultra low budget SAG movies got halted because of this pandemic by the pandemic, and so it's horrible. It's horrible the things that have happened. Take care of ourselves. Take vitamins. I encourage everyone on our list. It's like, man, stay healthy. It's out there, and we got to deal with it. We got to get stronger. So we are back in production with a project, and it will be happening this summer. I will be talking to my beautiful Lorain Police Department, and I like to tie in Amherst. I like to tie in Avon. I like to tie in the surrounding areas because this city is beautiful, man. Lorain County. Um, but man, without God's grace, I wouldn't be here. I got a story, as you know. It's not it's too much for my bio. It's too much.
Yeah.
What God spared my life from. A lot of bad choices, poor choices that I made. So it's a blessing to help kind of be a part of some nice stories.
Yeah.
Can you can still hear me good?
Oh yeah, you're fine, dude. I'm listening
Okay.
to you straight and clear.
Oh, awesome, man. But
I'm just letting you rip for a little bit.
there's a project recently, Lorain, and I think that was what I had sent you. And it's a special story. It's a true story out of Cleveland-based project from the heart. I got to meet the people and audition for them, and the director and the team. And it's a special story, you know. Yeah, I got this little guy right here. He's about to go in the cage. I want you guys to say he's gonna mess up the camera, mess up the lens, everything. So say goodnight to Keely. Sorry, hold on.
All right, Kiwi.
There you go.
Kenny, when as you come back, I want to ask you some questions, kind of
The
about.
effects, by the way, the effects is the story that we shot here in Lorain right before COVID. Go ahead, brother.
No, I want to ask you some of your inspirations when you were younger to kind of. I mean, I know you had gotten into it somewhat young, and then you went, like you said, to LC3. Were there doing theater and kind of got
Well, it's
kind of.
interesting, brother. I didn't just do theater there. I actually started in business and I failed all the math classes. And then I
Yeah.
switched to be a personal trainer just
Uh-huh.
because I was good at PT. And I got
Mhm.
really bored. I got really bored with the same gym smell all the time. And but I did okay in all these courses, but they weren't for me. And I was very blessed with a scholarship for delinquents, juvenile delinquents, and anyone. Actually, it was for anybody. Puerto Rican, you're black, everyone. Everybody gets a scholarship. Menos
Yeah.
los ricos no, porque tú sabes, los que tienen los billetes grandes en la iglesia y los que tienen los billetes eso no, eso hay que pagar, papá. There's even
Oh,
scholarships for you too, though.
oh yeah.
So
Oh
no, but yeah, it was a very nice, it was a blessed opportunity that actually I get to be a part of now. So there's
yeah.
a program called right now Fast Tracks that I'm one of the. I promote it. It's real. They're covering people's tuitions. You can have these courses in 16 weeks, and you can start a new career. And it is a lot of stuff that you do now online, which is, I mean, I prefer the intimacy about meeting up with you and exchanging, the positive energy. But it's all online right now for everybody. It's all online, man.
Well, it's kind
So
of
I
crazy because I was talking with the music instructor who said the same thing. She was like, when we went into lockdown, into quarantine, she said
Mhm.
it was tough because everybody, all her instructors that were trying to teach music were having to go virtual. And it,
Yep.
and it, and it changed everything.
Yeah, man.
But I mean,
Um,
I guess if can you tap onto some of your inspirations and what made you get into acting?
well, I'll tell you, it started real at a young age with me because before when I was very young, I did all these church plays, and my mom would throw them right on the spot at me, and I never really wanted to do them, but I had to do them. I didn't really have but then I enjoyed doing them as I created a character. So I got really out of being so worried about the lines, and I became more worried about the character and the psychological development of the story, which I was doing that real young. And then it also got me into a lot of bad behavior. because when you have that kind of manipulative gift, it is a gift. Bringing a character to life is more than meets the eye, and I believe everyone's capable of doing something special. Now, some people have talents that they blossomed and they embrace and they take on, they rehearse and they consistently work at it. That's a whole nother kind of talent. Now, when it comes to creative writing, it becomes therapy almost for people like me. It's very therapeutic to partner with stories, to hear a character, sometimes help write them. I had to do, when you're in school, it's part of the process to write a story, to direct. So while I was locked up actually in an institution by this guy named Abe, actually, I was my advisor, counselor. I'm sorry, Abe is not, he was Mr. Abe's. Let me just call him, but he told me I was about, 2.5 years in, almost three. I had already gone through the process of, the detention center to the sentence to Circleville and now promoted to a military run project under the cadres that were 2 Marine guys and 3 Army guys. And the counselor was Army, but he was, we're talking Vietnam era guys, older guys, but still young, Black, Latino. Yeah, one of them sat me in his office and really had a nice chat with me, and he told me to write the story, write a script. He showed me a little basic screenplay and said, I wrote this one, and had all this stuff written, along the lines, and yeah, so I wrote. It took me only like a day, like maybe 2 days. I pounded through this, and then I read it back to him, and he was really impressed, and he really encouraged me to keep writing. And so I did end up using that in a writing project at LCC in their writing program for theater. And I gave it a title called Blinded by Dust, and I used some of my great local brothers and sisters in the community, my cousins, family, and we did this, dude. We did this at Southview. We did it at Whittier, and I'm coming in. I'm 27 years old. This is time past. You know what I mean? It's not like I lived through it. Now I'm putting the work into it at the college. I was a late bloomer. All these guys that are in college, they're 18, 19. I was locked up then. It was like 26 when I finally made my head up, where certain things that were destructive to me, I had to cut loose. And I really found that grace. And I really found that moment where everything that my dad taught me as a kid, which was love Christ, seek his face. You know what I mean? He's everything. He's your shining glory. I mean, the world is in the palm of all those little scriptures, John 3:16, the Lord loves the world, gave only son. All this became real to me, after I was an atheist for almost 10 years. Keep that in mind. So I can vouch for the preacher kids out there. Now, where I'm at, I'm telling these stories that I learned as a childhood youth, and I add them into the same tactic. You start with your character. You start with a story. And if you partner with someone that kind of is right in there with you, that's how you do right. It's hard to do this alone. You can't do this alone. You need yourself a nice team, and the more teams. But the most impacting story I got to do, well, there's been a few of them. It's hard to just name one. But what's happened here in Lorain is really cool when you see projects locking down. We locked down Broadway for a project that I was a part of. It was, I don't know, it was $1 million movie, I think. My Blind Brother, you can see it. That's Lorain, man. If you guys want to enjoy a good movie, you can see it and at YouTube. You can do it on YouTube. My Blind Brother, YouTube. Criminal Activities, which was right here. John Travolta movie, incredible. I get thrown off a building. I can tell everybody my head blows up. I tell everybody it's bad. Whatever. No lo vea con los niños. Don't watch it with the kids. Strong.
That's awesome.
And yeah, brother. T. It's like I don't know. I think everyone is capable of helping. Tell your story, but I just make sure your heart's right. Keep your heart right.
I mean, I don't know if you saw a couple of weeks ago, I started telling my story, and like really, I had only touched on the first decade of it. I'm going to do it in 4 parts and kind of do my story in 4 decades. You know what I'm saying? And then the extras yet to be done. But that was kind of what I did too. And I see what your point is. Like, if you slow it down and you just kind of want to tell your story, tell it and tell it right. Like, and there's certain things, that we do in life. And I mean, like that we enjoy, and that's what's cool about it. Because I mean,
I
like
love
this,
what
I
you got
enjoy
going
this.
on, man. I love
Yeah.
the intro. I mean, I was really, it's brother. You got it going on over there in Florida, man. I got to come visit you out there.
Oh
You know what I
man, I
mean?
appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. And that's the point. Like, I want to have all my people on, like, but not just Ohio. I have Florida people on too, and I just have people from so many different professions. And I was lucky to be able to reach out to you and have you come on, because I haven't had anybody really in the acting profession come on, and I like that you come on and you tell your story. I had Ricky Quiles on a couple weeks ago,
Oh,
and
beautiful. Oh, I got to go to his gym and hit some punching bags. That's right.
yeah,
I got to spar with Ricky. I love it. Hey,
and
I
that's what
love him so much. I'm so his gym is beautiful, by the way. He welcomes any of his brothers and sisters from Lorain County. I mean, this dude will stop sparring with Cuba Gooding Jr. and give you a hug. He will
yeah,
stop with Cuba. Tell
that's
Cuba,
it.
this is my family. Oh, look at this. Oh, we got okay. Yeah.
He's
There we
coming
go,
back
man.
out.
See.
Yeah, I'm like, he's coming back out. He's not having it. He's not.
Man, broke
He's
out
not.
again. Look at that,
Yeah,
man. See,
he's
that's what jail does. Think about it. We keep them in cages, man. Just let
no.
them be free. Just let them be free. You got a bird? Open up the cage right now. Turn the ceiling fan off. Do not have the ceiling fan on.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
I've learned that lesson the hard way. It did lead me to pray for a whole day when my bird got the neck hit. Not this one, by the way. But yeah, I prayed her back to life. About 10 hours of praying. I sobbed. I cried because it was my fault. Can't do that. Can't do that. Naughty. Naughty. Yeah, man. But Tony, it sure is good to see you, man. And
Yeah,
if anything, I have to take care. There's some situations personal that we're handling, but through prayer and God's grace, thankfully we're not in the hospital. But keep us in your prayers. You're in mine, man. These are very difficult times. I tell everyone to practice your faith, the faith that we all got it in us, man. There's a
yeah,
seed of God in all of us. It
yeah,
just you're special. You're loved. You're beloved. Everything about you. But we know that this world is just, man, the darkness behind it. We got to pray against it and break the curses. That's what I say.
yeah.
Name of Jesus, break those curses, bro. Whatever I can do for you, I'll do the best I can. We're here in Lorain. We help with a food pantry. You remember the old where DJ Joey be dancing at?
Yeah,
DJ
yeah,
Joey. So right in that corner, that old pharmacy, it turned into a Pentecostal spot. It's a community center now. And we
nice.
got beautiful things there. Pastor Melvin, beautiful man, combat veteran, him and his wife. I love them. There's many more too, by the way. There's so many beautiful things happening. House of Praise, North Coast. These places are really lit up right now. And I just love to be a part of all and whatever we can do together. And then I keep going.
I'm glad that you're bringing light to this stuff, because when I have these interviews with some of the people from Lorain, they want to hear about this stuff. The people that are tuning in right now, they want to hear some of the stories. They want to hear what's going on. They want to hear how you're able to try to help revitalize Lorain. And that's what I want to help you guys do too. You know what I'm saying? I want to help bring some light to Lorain, put some spotlight on Lorain, and kind of, help in any way
I'll
that
tell
I
you
can.
what,
I can't
this
be there
summer,
physically, but I can help as much as I can this way.
this summer, we'll have a festival that we actually shut it down last year and we grew. We had some beautiful people here. And I always bring someone, let's just say, that's in the creative world that I'm a part of, talent-wise. And it's always been mind-blowing, the people that God's brought. Marvel animator, one that had to do with Spider-Man, and another one that had to do with the Avengers. When we're talking graphic animators that are very talented, behind the scenes, you'll never see them in interviews. They're the ones behind it. But there's incredible opportunities in that field, when you go about it. And we have that program at LC. We've really stepped our game up with graphic animation. We can, so I actually have brought a couple feature films to LC, and Dr. Ballinger, and before previously, Dr. Ballinger was amazing. She was there. I'm now her alumni, but before was President Roy Church, in which he was also a beautiful beacon to our community. And he allowed me to do 5 projects there, and that was before I was an alumni. And they were feature films that you can see by director Daryl McCullen, Deadly Desperations, and at YouTube, and you can see it somewhere on there. You just put it in. You can find them from my IMDb too somehow. But that's Lorain, guys. That was shot at LCC. That was shot downtown Broadway. 3 different restaurants. The bar on Oberlin, Mutt and Jeff's, they were awesome. The other place on Broadway, Underground Grill, Kevin Melendez, Kirby let us shoot all we wanted. Rosie's Pizza allowed us to shoot a commercial inside and hooked up some pizza with it. Inside, we actually shot.
Oh,
You
that's
know, the library. You know, the Palace Theater has allowed us to shoot throughout that whole perimeter. Multiple little bars there. I forget the little club right there. Those biker guys. They let us shoot there. I mean, that's what Lorain is, dude. This is the community that I'm so proud of. And we're right on the lake. You can't sleep on Lorain. I mean, we ain't on the beach like you. We're on the lake.
Well,
Cold lake.
it's a little different where I am. I don't know
Cold
if you
lake.
know. I don't know if you know where I am exactly. I'm like in just south of Tampa, like Bradenton, Sarasota area. And it's funny that you're talking about, digital graphics and all that kind of stuff, because I don't know if you know, which I'm sure you do know, but you probably didn't know that I was in that Sarasota area where Ringling College is at. And I know you know about Ringling and what Ringling brings to the art field, and they're big, very big in the part of Pixar and stuff like that. So I mean, I know some people throughout there, and if those connections meet up and we're able to work together on some things, and you got some good artists that are coming up, we can chat about it. And
beautiful thing. That's the way the business works. It's it's definitely helping hands. And just man, but one day at a time. Because I'll tell you the truth, we ain't promised tomorrow.
That's true.
And I'm sure we all know that by now.
Yeah.
And if you don't know it, I don't say we didn't tell you.
Yeah. Can you? I mean, I don't want. I know you're limited on time. I just want to like kind of shrink wrap as much of a interview with you as I can. Can you talk about the California time when you went out and were in,
yeah, actually, we can make that real quick. So I was doing Shakespeare at LCC, right? And the director there, Dr. Carlin Cahill, she brought in a scout from this Irene Ryan theater competition that happens in Milwaukee once a year. And could you believe we were the only community college that all got mainstream, like main time opportunity? So I was a part of that, and I was scouted by the Academy of Arts in San Francisco, Diane Baker. She actually, and they got me a scholarship to do 2 semesters over there, and then it got too expensive, so I dropped out and lived in my car for a little bit. Did it the dog pound way.
No, I mean I get it, because that's the part of an artist though in California. Like people don't get that sometimes, that it's not all rainbows and sunshine out there. You're gonna take your lumps.
Hey, San Francisco. Thank God that I was blessed to have some beautiful family out there with connections to my mother, Santiago's. And they took me in, but it was a little far out. The college stuff was moving me more towards Los Angeles. And that was the direction I was geared to go more. But they were such a blessing I was in San Francisco for about 4 years. Imagine that. 4 years.
Can you talk
and I
about,
did
can you go into detail about those projects, like how many projects you were able to do? Because I was reading on it on the bio.
Man. Hey, this
like
is
100 plus projects.
I was very blessed. Well, I'll tell you this. I had a hard time at first adjusting. My first semester, minimally for one of these programs, you need to do 4 to 5, maybe 6 short films of your own, team up, do something. As an actor, I was in the acting program. So you're either in the writing program, directing program, sound program, videographer program, digital effects programmer, or directing. Okay, and writing. So that being said, my first semester was real hard to team up. I had a different way. Papi bendición. My dad's walking by over there. He's okay. He's on his walk. That's what, I'm home for my mom and dad. My dad, we're recovering from this pacemaker that was installed. So now we get to skip all the lines. I'm blessed, bro. I'm like, we go through to the airport. I got dad with me. He can't do that. He got pacemaker. I gotta walk him. I gotta walk him. Okay, well then you guys gotta cut me. I gotta stay right here with dad. So it helps us out. You gotta look at the bright side. You gotta look at the bright side of everything.
I get it.
And but back to what I was saying though. So my first semester, when the semester wrapped up, I just barely made it because when the director, Diane Baker, who's got Academy Awards, this woman was in the Silence of the Lambs. She was in the movie The Birds. She was in Alfred Hitchcock. So she's like 60s, 70s kind of celebrity. Me and you, our mama and papa hadn't even met yet. So we still had some time. So that's the Diane Baker, which I believe she's written in IMDb, and I have some connections with her talent-wise and story-wise because so Diane approached me like my second weekend, and this is a 6-week course. It goes fast, advanced film acting, it goes super fast. So she approached me halfway, and the truth was nobody was picking me for anything. I was like the last one on the team all the time. And it was because they had their crews and their cliques in San Francisco, and they were very different from me. I have nothing against nobody. I've never been against anyone that was, gender, race, what you're attracted to, what you're not attracted to, whether you like white rice or red, boys or girls, whatever it is. I've never been a judgment of character. That's just not in bed. Even though I'm very spiritual, some will call me religious because I have my Sunday church commitment. My Friday, feed the homeless. My Wednesday, we do self-defense over at Melvin's Healing Wings. We do the college fast tracks outreach with Cindy Kushner and Elsie on Mondays. Now doing all this virtually, I can't do it. So we moved on. We still meet, and we're still meeting in Lorain. So we're here, for you. So that way, let that ring, We're here. If it's food, we try to help. Bring you a box. We're getting through this together. But now it's time to get to work. There's some lollygaggy stuff. It's time to get, they need to open us, let us go. Let us work, whatever. They got what they wanted. They
I don't
wanted
know. I mean, how locked down is Ohio right now?
Dude,
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna tell you right now.
Florida's pretty much wide open.
Now,
other than
it's opened up. As of a couple of days ago, you can get back with it. No more curfew. You can get back with it, but people be smart. That's it. This germ is still out there. People are still dirty. Politics are still politics. Biden ain't gonna do nothing even better than right now. We got shut out. So anyways, no, we won't go there, Kenny. Kenny's disciplined. But right now, what's happening is sad, but we're moving forward. We're moving forward, dude. I look forward, and I will say that
the human race.
If I had to say anything political, I always stand for life, 100%, and I won't ever compromise that ever. Stand for life, and every life matters. But you know what? It's good to get your. We have this special gun training coming to Healing Wings. Papi, bendición. My dad's right there. Hey, okay, papi, mira, para que tú lo saludes. Hey, I want you guys to see my dad. Papi, dile un saludito a la gente de Florida.
Hola, papá.
That's my dad right there. We are blessed, and I'm blessed to be here with him. And I do got a lot to do, but listen to this. I was saying that in short, man, I had to make a way for myself. And I used what God's given me, which is the gift to just be courageous. Daniel, you either believe the Bible or you don't. And I know that there's a lot of crooked ones out there. People have added, taken away, but there's basic King James. I mean, you don't need to read it like every day. It's hard reads. I get it, but you believe it. I believe it. I can't compromise it, but I also understand that I'm not perfect and I'm a hot mess. But God's grace, He keeps me going forward, make better sound decisions, and it's helped me as an artist take on diabolical. Tony, I played a rapist. I played a gangbanger, a terrorist, an Armenian guy. I played a Russian guy that was a part of the elite group that invaded Afghanistan. These are stories that I've done, and then transferred playing the role of Jesus, Paul. You know, it's like psychologically, these are long stories, and you go there because if you want your character to come across as real, you got to really study the art, but also understand the character that you're playing. So it's a trip thing because you're taking on two worlds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's character development. That's the first thing that goes to writing a screenplay. Am I even answering a question, or am I just rambling, bro? I
No,
don't
you're
know.
fine. I mean, yeah, just I mean, the questions that I'm asking, I'm just asking for you to kind of elaborate a little bit, and then you're fine though. I mean, I think, and the thing is like I was writing that down because I've got a whole script of questions, dude, that I have to ask you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see, I don't know if you can see my phone, but I'm like, I've got questions upon questions that I can ask. You know, so to be able to do that with you and then talk with you about it, and then you know, the talking about your roles and the roles that you play, you know, I've been watching a lot of the clips that you sent me, plus, you know, the clips that I've already had witnessed. um you know, every pretty much every one that I was watching, it's like you're so passionate about that particular part that you're playing, whether it be, you know, when you were the janitor in the you know, the first, you know, do no harm. And like when I was watching that, and I was just like, wow, he's so passionate about it. And then I'm watching you in the, you know, in the one with the horse, and I forget what that one was called, but I was watching it just the other day, and I was like, he's so passionate about that one. And then, you know, and it's cool to watch like the different roles that you played and just how you've been able to do it. I remember, you know, we had watched some short films, me and the wife, before, and then when you were on Chicago PD back in like 2016, and I was like, oh, dude, that's my buddy, like he's on there, like that's so cool. And I mean, and we watched it, and I mean, she watches Chicago PD anyway, so that was cool for you to be on a show that she watches and that she's passionate about too.
And it blows me away. That was such a, hey Tony, that was such an odd, and if I got into that story about Chicago, let me tell you, I first actually was going for Chicago Fire, and I had multiple callbacks, and I actually went in and I read Chicago Fire because if you know it's all the same production company that does those Chicago shows. So I went in Chicago snow, and I had a callback for Fire, and I went in and it was a tie-in to PD. So they were both together, you know, when they do those twists together,
Yeah, yeah,
which is a very unique opportunity. You know, if you score something like that, residuals wise, but that's a tough score. Let me tell you, it's a tough score. I got rejected about 5 times, and you never quit. You just got to keep going. You got to keep trying for the project. And but they sent me the script, and I did it, and it was done, right? And then they asked me to stay in Chicago, and it was bad weather anyways. And so I stayed because I have a beautiful family there. They're such a blessing to me, you know. And when I went to the callback, I didn't know that they switched everything on me. Everything was switched, so I ended up reading for the wrong part. So there was no way I was going to make it because you just don't make it. You didn't you, you got selected for a certain specific role,
yeah.
and then you walk in and they changed a few things, and the info didn't get to me in time, and I walked in prepared with what I had read previously, and they were very disappointed.
And that what they had switched the plan to.
Yeah, well, somebody else got the part, and God bless him. I'm proud of him. I know the guy. Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
then, beautifully, I was about to give up on my acting career, and I even got back in to finish my degree, which I did, you know, at LC, and now, I about 2 months in, I got a call from my agent and said that they picked you specifically to come in for a callback. Here are the right lines, and this was for Chicago PD, and it was the Gustavo role, and he was written as a diabetic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's just
I
interesting.
was, yeah, he had kind of had what, like a diabetic shock or something, and
Now
yeah,
the
I'm
thing is what's interesting is when I went in for the read, I read it just like that, the way they asked. And I won't get into the description of walking into an audition like that because it's a very tough, competitive field.
I'm sure it's
There's a
intimidating.
lot of people that read for one role, you
Yeah,
know. So congrats to every guy that books. We've had a lot of Cleveland and Lorain guys book little spots on TV shows. So I know how and it's very intimidating. So that's why you got to have your heart right. And every guy I know that's been a part of this circle will claim what I'm claiming is true. But so when they called me to come back and I got the sides and I drove out there, it was a blizzard. It's always bad weather. It's cold. You get there, you leave like 10 hours earlier. You know what I mean? Because it's bad. And I got there and went in God's grace and favor. I had walked into a very tough situation because you have the writer, you got the casting director, casting assistant, then you have cinematographer plus director. So you're gonna actually do this montage, this monologue that's very specific with a reading partner under some pressure, and it's unique pressure though. It's very unique pressure. But so I went in, I did it, and I played it like a diabetic. And before, when I was done, they enjoyed it. Before I walked out of there, I said to the director, I asked permission to speak. You know, you respect the atmosphere. And I said, do you mind if I do that again, but play it as an epileptic, as someone that just had a seizure and was lost? And the reason why I ask you this out of line is my dad's an epileptic, and I've been witnessing this all my life. How he gets up and he's dazed and confused. And if we're not here to guide him, he'll fall down the steps, turn the car on, wreck the pole, burn the house down, burn his fingers off, fall face buttons to a person that has seizures. They're standing up and it's not safe. So all the stuff that I hit the director with was real stuff. Are you okay, Mashikiti? Mashikiti? Everything. So I said, do you mind if I play like my father? And he said, he looked at the casting director. Dude, there was a line out there, but it wasn't a line like you think. This was a sophisticated, there was no COVID and it was already social distancing so that you can have that time to focus on to be able to do the best performance. And you've been called because you've already gone through the system.
yeah, you're
They already
handpicked.
know you can act. They already
Yeah.
know you understand what this is about because
Mhm.
you've been through it. But, pero ¿por qué lo que te pasó? Así que, so, nevertheless, when right before, so asking that, that's why I was respectful. There's people waiting, but can I get this off my chest? You know, this is therapy for me.
Yeah.
And I know the director knew that. So did it, and I did it like my father would having a seizure. And he looked at the guy and they were like, the director was like, that was very nice. And I said, thank you. And I left. I ran out of there real fast. I did because it's very humiliating. It's humbling. To do this, you got to humble yourself. You got to really silence all your emotions, your family problems, your house problems, your work problems, your finances, homeless, not homeless. You know, when I was at the academy over there and I had to do those films, you know, I nobody would work with me because of for whatever reason. Why? What? I have no idea. The connection. They didn't want to give me a chance because I was different. You know
Sure.
what I mean? I was very different. I wasn't into bar scene like that. I wasn't in the club. I mean, I go to my truck, I go to the gym. I was living out of my car while doing full-time classes, while working in the school districts. I was very blessed to have a bank account, P.O. box, and be a student while I was living in my truck. So I love my truck. Tell you that.
No, I'm like, I
Yeah.
get it. You know, I mean,
Chevy
and the
S10,
thing is that you
Chevy
do.
S10, work on it and everything, easy peasies.
I know.
Hey, I only four nights out of you could say almost 4.5 years, 4 nights did I actually sleep in the truck. Other than that, I was blessed. was always teaming up. But this is what broke the ice, man. These guys underestimated my abilities as an actor. They were used to their stars that were in the program since the basics of acting. It's a college club, just like a military club, just like an association, a union. That's what acting academies are. And there's those that have been in it since they were little, because family, because whatever, little young Spielbergs, you know what I mean? They just got it like that. You know what I mean? Academy Award winning family, or just even a nominee. You don't even need to win. Once you get nominated, it changes your whole circle of communications when it comes to the industry. So that stuff is mind blowing. So, anyways, not that I got into all that, but I I wrote my own script, and I actually took the one that I wrote while I was kind of locked up then, way back then, and I amplified it, and I presented it to Diane Baker, the Diane Baker, Silence of the Lambs, Birds, Alfred Hitchcock, The Diary of Anne Frank. We're talking 50s. What's wrong with you? It's okay.
You talked about some of those things that you were nominated for, and I want to kind of discuss that a little bit. Some of the awards.
So, okay, oh yeah, it definitely. My mom, it was the birdies. Look at my mom, guys. Hey, don't say hi. That's my mom right there. Hey, look how beautiful she is.
Hello.
Well, mama, happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. You better love on your mom. You better love on your mom. That's mine.
Hello.
And so, no, eso fue, yeah, no, eso fue este. Eso fue eso. Ya, pero no pasó nada. You know. Sorry about that, guys. So here we are. That's my mama. It's Valentine's. And the birds got out. They made a mess in the back. One of them pooped on me. I got poop on my hands. So. Hi. But in closure with that whole theater thing, you know, I'll wrap it up. So I wrote the script initially that I had did what I was in that program, which was then called 21 Days. And that was the first project that I acted in and that I wrote at the school that got the attention of all the other directors, because it was also Diane Baker directed it. And I wrote it, and I was the actor in it. So she directed me, and she helped me through a lot of breakthroughs psychologically, because I was used to theater, man. I did Shakespeare, did commedia, did church plays, stuff that my mom would write, you know. So I was used to that, like, big energy. You can't do that with a movie, with a camera. It's very different. The energy, it's very different. The feel, the vibe, the performance. You know, one of them is like a microchip. The other one is like a big serving, like you're a waiter. You know, you're a server. You know, this was microchip.
Yeah.
This was microchip. And so she helped me through that breakthrough. So I do, in a sense, you know, I first give credit to God for giving me the talent and the grace, you know, in his favor. But Diane Baker helped break that mold. So that one film that I did, dude, so my first semester, I did Mine, which got a little recognition there in a film festival. I did two others that I teamed up with a guy that was a lot older than me, became a very good friend. He was almost like an older uncle kind of thing, and he was also from Argentina. And I played him in a younger version because he was a Navy veteran. But this story is San Francisco.
Yeah.
The Navy guy that's, hey, now look, this is this guy's personal story. But the guy was into dudes, and I'm not into dudes. So I told the dudes, I can do this story, dude, but I can't do no kiss dude scene. But I can play a dude that's a Navy veteran
Sure.
in the Vietnam era, and I can play that dude that's hiding it. Now, not that I'm into that kind of dude and dude stuff, not at all, but I respect this guy's story, and he's a veteran, and he took me. I adopted him as my uncle, as Theo. I call him Theo, and he
Sure.
allowed me to stay with good 6 weeks. I sleep on his sofa, and he had a doctor that was his other half, Asian. No, he was like Chinese. But anyways, so yeah, they took me in like family, dude. I never slept in my truck. I did 6 films with that guy. He's a great screenwriter, and he was like 55 years old, and I was like 30. So he was like an uncle figure, but Navy guy.
Oh,
Guess
that's cool.
something else. You want me to really blow you away now?
What's up?
He was passing away with HIV,
Oh,
and
wow.
he's no longer with us.
Wow.
But I'll tell you what, I got to be Jesus to him, and he's like, I love Jesus so much. I'm just attracted to dudes. That's it. And I'm just a hot mess attracted to girls. So it's like, I get it. This is it's nothing different in the eyes of the Lord. We both need Jesus. And dude, I got to see San Francisco in such a special way and make the first film that kind of told a story of that. And I played that guy, dude. And that's a film that you wouldn't see unless you were part of that film festival back in 2006, 7, 8 from the Academy of Arts. A couple of them have them leaked on YouTube. I don't know. I can't even find them half the time. They need to
Sure.
send me the link, and they send it to me. They don't work, and it's broken. I got to put a code in to get it. And then it works only once. I'm like, man, why don't you leave it on? I didn't even get to screenplay it. I didn't get to record it. And but yeah, God's blessed me with the opportunity to tell some unique stories, but real on the real lately. But I know you want to know about how the college worked out. So the first semester, when only 3 people would work with me out of, let's just say, 15, 16, 17 directors, I turned into having my second semester. Okay, by the way, you need to complete 8 films. 8, that's any kind of film, 8 of your own projects, however you do them, completed projects. They could be 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, be 30 minutes. And it's better to write a short film to get your feet wet. Don't write a whole long feature film. Focus on short screenplay, focus on short and tell the story, and make sure you have a character that makes sense so that you're building around. So one of my own, 21 Days, 2 others, I believe they're on, IMDb. So, but 5, my first semester, that's failing, dude. That's failing because you need 8 to like just kind of get there. So, but after that breakthrough with 21 Days, my second semester, I did 27 films in one semester.
That's
So I
awesome.
made up for the classes, and I stayed in the program. So just like
You're like made up for that missing of the first
I
semester.
made up, and then I did so many of them my third semester. My fourth semester, I toned back a little bit because now everyone. I mean, I was doing films from other schools, from Berkeley University, from Oakland University, from. I mean, this is Northern Cali, and I did that film for the college film festivals, like I did the theater here at LLC at the Irene Ryan in Milwaukee for Shakespeare. Now I just did it in the West Coast. And that opened up a lot of opportunities to help be a part of a lot of stories, films. So, yeah, it was probably all together while I was there. It was about 67 different projects from various different schools, but mainly the Academy of Arts. Mainly that's where most of the meat came from. And but as an actor, it was just an adrenaline. Remember I told you therapy from the beginning of our conversation?
Yeah.
It was therapy.
I get it. I mean, and that's what's cool. I think that's why so many people are kind of attracted to the acting thing, because it lets you open so many different avenues of being these different characters and falling into that character and falling in love with the part. And I mean, sometimes, and you know this to be true, that some people are they fall into a character and they never fall out of that character sometimes, because you've seen that happen to many people that are in the industry, that they become a character and then they become that real life character, and that becomes them, and that's what they want to do is be that character in real life, and they can't separate the two. I
Really
mean,
think
so
about it reminds me of Heath Ledger. He's one of my ultimate favorites. Every
mhm,
film that I saw of Heath Ledger was just, and it's sad how he got lost. And there's a lot of different conspiracy theories about Heath Ledger. I just stick to the one that I know is true. He had a heart problem and he was doing too much substance abuse, and it wasn't controlled. And he knew Jesus too, man. So that's why I'm not too worried about him, because I believe in his last breath he claimed Jesus as Lord, and I might see him in heaven again, because he was a good dude, man, Heath Ledger. And I did
that's
get to meet him before, and
that's
that's the only, like, and that was brief. It's not like I hung with him and kicked it. No,
true.
I met a lot of different celebrities when I was in California and at the Academy of Arts. A lot of them came to our school, and I got a lot of private sessions. Things that I just put in the back burner. Their tools and their projects to different stories that you use at certain times. And but yeah, man, it's interesting when you're telling a story how you can make that work.
No, it's super cool. It's super cool that you've been able to go all the places you've been. You personally have a great story, but I mean all the cool stuff you've been able to do as well. Like and kind of, you know, like you said, you've been through a lot, man, and you're still, doing your thing, and you're still helping out the community, and you're still helping your mom and dad, and you're still, what I mean, you're staying busy, and I appreciate that you were able to even come on and chat with me about this, because we were talking about it
Hmm.
weeks ago. We had talked about it, I think, even before Christmas, and you were in the
I
middle
kind
of
of remember, actually, a couple years ago, you sent me a message just to chop it up in Florida. You told me if I'm ever down there to hit you up, and I
yeah,
never
yeah,
forgot about that. I was like, because I did pass through Florida a couple times. I do
yeah.
have beautiful family out there, and I've been on a show called Caso Cerrado there, which is on Univision and Telemundo and Telemax. And
Nice.
I've done a couple little mini soap operas. It's really embarrassing, dude. I'm not even gonna IMDb.
No, I've
Some of
seen
them aren't even on there. Hey, I try to delete a few of them. I don't want a couple of those credits. Cheers,
no, but
man. But hey,
I'm like, when we chatted before Christmas, I know you were talking about, you were working on a production then in Lorain, correct? That you guys were trying to do
yes,
for
absolutely. It was called The Effects.
okay.
Very special story. The Effects. It was a true story. A young lady out of Cleveland, actually, when she was 14, she actually lived this. Actually, it may even be younger, but her name is Rose Gramero, and her dad is from Guatemala, and her mom's from Puerto Rico, and her dad was stripped away back in 2012, maybe 2011, maybe 2010. It was during it wasn't during, man, I don't even want to get political, but it was during the Obama administration. But there was a lot of very heavy deportations that happened. ICE was hunting people down. And I get to be blessed to say I was a part of a team that would go to Washington and stand in the gap for families that were getting separate, good men that were being taken from their job, whether they're farming, whether they're a cleaner at Red Lobster. And so, man, bro, this is like some emotional stuff that I'm about to throw, but I'll make it real quick. And then this will be wrapping it up. But so I got to go with this beautiful organization called OLA out of Cleveland. A beautiful young lady named Veronica and beautiful people that surround her. This woman raises funds for people's legal fees that are immigrants. But now keep in mind, the people that come through this section, we're like those that get our CCW license. We know there's a right way to own a gun and there's a wrong way to own a gun. We know that there's a very high level of respect when you have a firearm at your possession. There's a training, there's a technique to it, there's a way to be safe. And as it's very different. You get what I'm saying from the kid that's 14 that's carrying it around, even though it doesn't have a clip in it, trying to look cool. You don't look cool with this. This is nothing cool. You don't ever want to cool this. You don't want to ever have to go into self-defense mode. Um, I've had to do it, and I thank God for the different opportunities that I've had to train and stuff that beautiful veterans that have been a part of my life have brought beautiful techniques. Give shout out to Ed Rainbow, who's helped with the stunt team here. Shout outs to Melvin Navarro, pastor, who's got special hands in combat. Brother Jose Torres, Sergeant Purple Heart Marine from Lorain, Ohio. Big hugs to that guy for the special tech. He gave me a book when he knew I was training for a movie a couple years ago that I had to do all this martial arts. And I had to, and he knew everything. You can kill somebody like this. It's gung fu. It's the Bruce Lee technique.
Jose grew up. We were wrestlers since we were young, man.
Oh, you guys were some savages. I remember we had the best team. I think you guys all had gold medals. You know what I mean? You guys took all the tournaments. Now we're weak. Now there ain't nothing there. We got these transgenders now wrestling in the women's league. Sorry to say that. I didn't mean any offense, but you know, saying one thing that's ridiculous. Let the girls to be on a wrestling team is okay, but understand she's a girl. Now, girls on the other teams doesn't count. Okay, there's nothing else. You can't do it on the volleyball squad. That's not fair. Dude up in there. But I got my ding dong sawed off. No, it don't matter. You're still a dude. You got muscles, man. Hey, I'm playing those bad jokes. I hope no one's offended. I do apologize. And I do say that very lightly. I just don't want to tread the waters and offend anybody. Sure. But I'll say that I really love the competitive aspect of sports. I love it now as an older guy. I get to be a part of some teams. My good buddy's volleyball coach, and I love helping in any sense with those teams. And we're talking young people, middle school. We got to be an influence to them, man. You know what I mean? High school, man, we're losing them then. If you haven't jumped on them before they're 13, they're already gang banging and killing each other and having sex and being out of control by 12, 13, 14. This is bad, the school districts. I've been working in the school districts from Los Angeles to San Francisco to Atlanta to Tennessee. Nothing like the South, I'll tell you that. I got to do a couple movies in the South. You know that, right?
Yeah. I saw. Well, actually, I think one of the ones you sent me was about. It was just a trailer of the one that you were in. About
we got a beautiful guy from Lorain, Ohio, Santiago, who's been on The Walking Dead. And he's also done a bunch of zombie movies. They made a book off of him. I don't know. I'm trying to get my hands on it. He has to send me a copy.
Yeah.
You know, gotta let him know. Send Tony G a copy.
He's like more my sister's age, so I'd have to reach out to him.
I'll tell you what. He is a beautiful veteran, also Army, but he was best friends with my brother. Him and my brother Rick, who also went to the Army. So both of them veterans. But them two guys were college roommates in Columbus at Columbus Community College and got kicked out, both of them. That's why they went to boot camp. They partied a little too hard. There were some big partiers. But I'll tell you what, though, them guys got it together now. My brother and Cirillo, my brother Rick, you know, still local, but working great, you know, doing good. Cirillo, he's still on it, acting, modeling, out there doing movies. I got to do about 6 movies with him in I don't want to put his you know, his little town out there, but he's right outside of Nashville. He's right there. A bunch of veterans live in the woods. We do military projects. There's trainers, like gun shooting. It's okay. It's the South. It's the Bible buckle. They go to church every Sunday, man. Everybody, you going, whether you drunk or so, you going. No, you going to church. It's the South. It's the Bible buckle.
Yeah. Hey. I was just out in Tennessee back in November. It's fucking beautiful out there, man.
Oh, man. You know, if you get to see those little towns that are right in the Chattanoogas, he knows what I'm talking about. Man, it's beautiful, man.
Off in the mountainsides and stuff.
Oh yeah. Hey, I got to work with some, you know, my first day there, I was working, dude. I helped this old school veteran.
Like I can't
do some roofing. Got to help him do some roofing, and so, anyways, man, it's Tennessee. I've done films out there. I've done films in South Carolina. Beautiful veterans over there. First Do No Harm was done there. That won 27 national awards. Director Mark Cochran and an incredible team, man. Cinematographer, actors, makeup squad, all the kids in that movie. If you've seen, I know I sent you a sample of it.
Yeah.
Somebody wants it, have them reach out to me. I'll send them a little link. But nevertheless, that movie was so special, and you got to see it, and it was an absolute God's grace and favor. By the grace of God, they opened up with a prayer. I walked into a situation that was a squad from Vampire Diaries, FYI. Yeah, squad of Vampire Diaries behind the scenes. That's why that film looks the way it looks.
Yeah.
It's $1 million project done for a lot less. Yeah.
That's all. The
Now Fin del Año, which is my to my heart, it's on immigration. The character I did there, this guy was written and birthed through a director, Joshua Porter, through an incredible team there of writers. And man, all their names has slipped. But that production was done for the 48-hour film festival. And you can see that whole film either on YouTube or somewhere on the 168 Film Challenge, which is incredible, like a 48-hour film challenge. You got 7 days to create a script, and you got to do it with certain rules that apply. Can't break the rules. You do, you disqualify. And there was $1 million on the table that year, 2014, I believe, maybe 2013, but it was around that time frame. Very, very, very pre-COVID, and definitely we were battling a lot. But that was the year that I really got to rock and solid with. A little bit later on, My Blind Brother, Criminal Activities, that were local projects. This other one that was really beautiful and dear to my heart, man, was really Fin del Año. There's also one that we got to do, and I got to just really help behind the scenes. And this wonderful human being, a brother, God's grace, blood of Jesus, Daniil Phibbs, who's got multiple Emmys that he's won, Air Force veteran, out of Cincinnati, Ohio, very destructive childhood, out of the Detroit area. So he's not really a Red fan for us. So me and him, it's always fun because Michigan and Ohio, so I love the guy. But man, I've been a part of some incredible films that he's done, and they've been up for like national Emmys. And one in particular was done about Lorain County first responders. And a beautiful gentleman, Tony Baez, who's a sergeant police. He's a veteran for the Marines. He's an incredible father. And his wife, Erica, that works in Lorain, serving the community. We highlighted them in a video from a writer and a songwriter from Tennessee, the South. And we wanted to show a police side of how his day could be. So you can see that on a website called Born to DP Films. And you'll see there the film reel. Just look for Tony Baez hugging his little boy. And if you know him, that's the plug. No more clues. But another beautiful thing is we showed our firefighters. And I have someone that's like an uncle to me. And he is, we're bloodline Marreros, Johnny Marrero, who's Lorain Fire, gave us access to shoot some incredible footage inside of the Lorain and there was a call that day. So you can imagine the excitement you can see of the Lorain Fire. So we highlighted two Latinos, Tony Baez, Johnny Marrero, two military veterans, Army and Marines represented Lorain, video combat heroes, Tony Baez, and Theo Johnny. You know what I mean? So they're all on Born to DP Films, and that's a song that you might enjoy. I can actually pull it up for you. You want to pull it up for the people, and then I can say goodbye with that one.
Well, hold on.
That one?
I don't know if I can pull that one up.
I'll tell you what.
What I was going to do, if you want to run through what you guys are doing, what projects you're working on right now in Lorain, like what you guys have been working on. I'm going to put you full screen, and then I'm going to do one like little quick couple like question game with you, and then I'll let you get out of here.
And then I'll hang up. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you.
Here, I'm going to put you, like I said, I'm going to put you full screen, and then I'm going to let you rip about what projects you guys are working on in Lorain, and then like I said, I'll jump right back in the screen after you're done doing that.
Okay, so here we go. Projects that we're working on in Lorain. Well, thank you, COVID, for locking down 7 projects that we had, 7 feature films, 2 TV series, one actually for Hulu, another one for Netflix. So yeah, thanks a lot. So my plug to everyone is take your vitamins because we are making projects in Lorain. Healing Wings, we just shot a feature film over there titled Jarlid that just wrapped up. Beautiful. John, his director, and his wife were a part of it. We shot it at Healing Wings over at right in the corner. Let's just say Joseph's Corner. You guys know DJ Joseph over there. It's always dancing for everybody, holding a sign about Eminem being his dad that we all know ain't true, but we beep at him anyways and we give him some love. That beautiful facility has opened up for our last project and our last film. And once the summer kicks in and we get out of this horrific winter season, we'll work on a couple more projects here in Lorain. But every Friday, you can catch me at Beyond the Walls in Elyria. It's easy to find on Facebook. They guys, we're giving away food over there: bread, meat, chicken, and then we have a nice little service at 7 o'clock. There's some people come over there and need a second chance, and I'm part of Second Chance Ministries with the college, Lorain County Community College Fast Tracks program. 16 weeks. I help you get a college degree through LC, and Beyond the Walls. You can find me every Friday. I'm there helping these wonderful people. Now, El Faro on Sundays, Healing Wings Sunday night, and also Self Defense Wednesdays, 6:30. We are child friendly. We are COVID strict. So we gotta make sure that and you're not coughing and sneezing everywhere. We gotta make sure that's a top necessity. If you are, we have a remedy. We're not gonna kick you out, but you're going to be quarantined as I spray you down with liquid sanitizer that's filled with peroxide, fixed with green rubbing alcohol. We're going to shoot you down. We're going to spray you from head to toe, and then you're going to have to put on a face mask, plus take 3 pills of vitamin C. You're going to have to swaddle with a chug of water. And then we got to take Vicks and wrap it around your mask, and you can come in and you can be a part of a project that we're doing called Emotions. That's the next theatrical story here in Lorain. We're going to be probably doing it. It was going to be for Valentine's, which is today. So I want to say happy Valentine's to you. I want to say it's not about being Valentine's. It's always Give Love Day. Always Friendship Day, your brother and sister day, your mother and father day. No matter if people have done you wrong, learn to give love, learn to forgive. Think about Christ. Think about Jesus. You haven't seen Passion of the Christ, even though that's a tough movie to get through. There's a better series I'm going to recommend called Jesu. It's made in Oh man, so this is the kind of series that I'm going to be coming up with next. Okay, so guys, incredible Brazilian production. Man, they're called Casablanca. I've seen their work. When their casting opens up, I'll share it on my page. Casablanca Productions. Jesu. This is Portuguese. Don't worry, there's subtitles. And if you're Spanish, you might get away with just understanding because it's such a similar dialogue. Spanish and Portuguese. Jesus, Casablanca. Happy Valentine's. Always love. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go, brother.
All right, big guy. I appreciate you coming on, man. I know we were talking earlier and you didn't have much time, but I was like, shit, I didn't want to tie you up, but we started talking and it goes from there, So
we've
like
been
I said,
on here for more than I expected. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. I appreciate you, man. Take care of yourself. All the projects that you guys are doing. If you guys need anything from me, whatever I can do in any way, you let me know.
Let's have that phone chat real soon here, my brother.
Yeah,
all right.
I appreciate you, Kenny, man. You take care of yourself.
Love you, buddy.
All right, love you too, man. Yeah, that was Kenny Santiago Marrero, man. Super happy to have the guy on. He wasn't going to be able to really even try to stay on for too long because of the fact that he's so busy and he's doing so much projects and he's working hard, and like I said, he's taking care of his parents right now and trying to do that project as well. So we were lucky enough to get him in for a little bit over an hour. So happy that I was able to have some Q&A with him and just pick his brain on some of the business, him talking about what it's like to come up and even try to break into the business of acting, because it's such a difficult business to break into, and him shedding a light on that and just letting you know that it's not always easy. It's not what people think always. Some kids are fortunate enough to get in early. Some that are breaking later in their careers are very fortunate as well. And it's huge to be able to do that, man. I mean, it's not an easy business to get into, and they'll let you know that and kind of always talk about that because it's tough, So I do want to give one shout out and say happy Valentine's to everyone, especially my wife, my children, my mother, my father, my sister, my niece and nephew, all of those that are out there. Just trying to enjoy yourself. It doesn't matter if you have a significant other or not. If you can enjoy the day and just appreciate that we're still here, that's what's most important, So I'm going to give you guys my final quote of the night, and I'm going to wrap it up for the evening. My final quote is, strive for progress, not for perfection. I think when I started to kind of think about putting the show back together, and I wanted to make sure, I wanted to try to do things as perfect as I can, and I was mistaken to think that I was going to ever make anything perfect, because of the fact that it's tough, and I've had my ups and downs and I've had my mistakes, and but I still just strive to progress and try to get better in each and every time I do this for you, and try to make it as good of a show as I can. So like I said, with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Go check out the YouTube, check out my Instagram. You guys know where I'm at on Facebook. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys as always. But with that being said, the business, let's be real, over, out.